This video clip is trying to demonstrate how to use SAS to run the capital asset pricing model, CAPM model. And we use SAS Studio for this application. CAPM model is a Nobel winner model, and the model specification is listed in the equation. We use an example of alphabet with a stock ticker GOOGL. Data is from 2015 to 2016 daily stock return. For the data set, we use two data resources for this study. From the CRISP data set, Google's daily stock return with the variable name RET return is collected, and also the market return with the variable name WVRETD is collected. And from another data set that's from a French library, the daily risk-free rate with the variable name RF-D is collected. Combine the two data sets. That will have everything we need for the CAPM model regression. We use SAS Studio for this exercise. Just to give you a quick review from SAS University, the results should be expected like here, but we just try to want to illustrate how do you run the SAS program to get the result here. Now we want to use SAS program to run a regression to estimate the CAPM model. The example here is the alphabet company with the ticker of Google. In the database, Google has a unique ID that's the perm number of 90319, as I highlighted here. So the SAS program, the first line 156, proc reg, which means the procedure of regression. Then the next line CAPM model RP equal to MRP. So it gives the model specification, where perm equal 90319 tells you that's for the Google, for the company of Alphabet. And then we give the code run, tells us to run the program. When we click running the program, and the results show in the results tab. The first is about the summary of the dependent variable, and the next part is about several charts about the dependent variable of RP, residual of RP. Now let's zoom in the SAS result and take a look at the detail of the CAPM results. So the first table that's talk about the number of observations, 504 observations had been read in this study, because this is the daily stock data, and for 2 years, every year it roughly have 250 days, trading days. So for 2 years in 2015 and 2016, so total observations that's more than 500. The second table is about analysis of variance. So as you can find, the model has a degree of freedom of 1, and also the F-test statistic is to test the overall regression. The non-hypothesis is that all the coefficients are jointly equal to 0, and in this CAPM model we only have one X variable, that's the market risk premium. So in this F-test, and the probability value is very small, so it's rejected the non-hypothesis that all the coefficients are 0, which means the coefficients are not jointly equal to 0. The third table mainly record R-square. R-square is a statistic and produced by the least square regression analysis. That's a number between 0 and 1, and R-square of 0 means there's no relationship between the X variable and Y variable, and R-square of 1 means the perfect relationship between the X variable and Y variable. In this CAPM model for the stock of Alphabet Google, the R square is 0.31, so which implies 31% Google's return can be explained by the X variable, that's market risk premiums return. The last table reports the coefficient estimates. In the CAPM model, we pay attention between the market risk premium and the Google stock return. So let's look at the variable of MRP. It has a coefficient of the 0.98. So it says Google has a beta of 0.98. Beta equal to 1 means the market risk. And so Google has a beta equal to 0.98, close to 1. It indicates that Google's systematic risk is very similar as the overall market portfolio. And this beta coefficient with a t-value of 15.918. So the t-value is very big, it's very significant. So the p-value is also very small, less than 0.0001. It tells the beta estimate, or the coefficient of MIP, is very significant from 0. This is a good statistic results. The intercept in this model has a coefficient 0.00067, but it's not statistically significant because the p-value is 1.17. It's quite small, and since we can look at the p-value is 0.24, so larger than 10%, so we do not reject the non-hypothesis that the intercept is statistically equal to 0. That's why we do not find any significant statistic for the intercept. The intercept in finance, we name it alpha. If we do find some statistic significant alpha, so we can generate alpha strategy. For example, we find a positive significant alpha, which means the intercept is a positive number and also statistically significant. Then we say this stock will generate additional rate of return, more than the CAPM model predicted. So this is a good stock, a potential stock to buy to take a long position. In this case again, Google's alpha, that's the intercept. The coefficient is 0.0006. Most importantly, the coefficient statistic shows it's insignificant. So we do not find any significant alpha for Google for this case. To make a quick summary, for this clip, we use the Google as an example to test the CAPM model with the SAS software. And the model is the Google's return equal to the market risk premium. The SAS procedure is a plot REP, means procedure regression. And for the regression results, the coefficient of the X variable MRP, that's the beta value in the CAPM model. After this clip, I hope you can run any CAPM model for publicly traded stocks available in the United States. Also, most importantly, I hope you can understand the regression output and interpret the regression results. Please feel free to contact me at my email xz4@centenaries-ca.edu. Thank you for watching this video clip.